Here is my Galopin. Beautiful with the island of Sao Vicente in the background, isn't he? I'm accompanied by Bruno, a professional skipper. Peter was ahead of us in gaining ground. Bruno asked if I had a Spinnaker. Yes, I said, but it's a pain to hoist. Bruno looked at me amused, and I said, it's here in the locker, man. He went to work immediately, maneuvering his way around the Spinnaker pole, sheets, and the sail with absolute ease.
It's so cool to be with somebody that knows his shit. Ah, Bruno, man.
I hoisted the sail, dressed here in its sock, then furled the Genoa. And then, like magic, the Spinnaker filled and shouted its colors well up ahead to Peter's boat.
There it goes. Nice.
This is a little of Bruno's story. He was born in Peru, schooled in sailing by his dad from a young age. And later, he was crewing on racing yachts. He eventually became a professional skipper. He's been at it for over 15 years and has sailed thousands of miles across oceans. About a year ago, Bruno sailed his boss's boat here to Cape Verde from Buenos Aires, Argentina. He was on his way to the Mediterranean, but because of the pandemic, he had to reroute and settle in Cape Verde and wait until further notice. So he's a live aboard like the rest of us sailors stranded here. The boat he skippers is a big boat at about 16 meters, so he doesn't take it out all that often. But he loves to sail and misses it. He'd asked me many times if we could go sailing together. Well, this was the perfect opportunity. A weekend jaunt across the Sao Vicente canal to Santa Antao Island with me, him, and his girl Josie. This was pure sailing pleasure, man. Wind at our stern, Spinnaker up. It was the purest of highs, like sailgasm. Bruno was a little concerned. It would be difficult to bring down the Spinnaker with too much wind. And Bruno's right. But I'm more familiar with the sea here. I know the wind increases near the southern coast of the island. And as well, I know that it drops suddenly to nothing on the very southern tip, which is what suddenly happened, and we could easily put away the Spinnaker. The next day we met Peter and his crew. They are craving lunch, and we were more in the mood for local refreshments, and we wanted to visit Lola. I ordered a small bottle of grog and punch tamarindo. I introduced Bruno and Josie to Lola, Gerda, Shailene, Paloma, and Gilbert, and explained that Bruno is South American, not Chinese. Maricia, my grog sister, sniffed us out. We were high from the grog and wanted to go for a short walk, so we went to see if Peter's crew were up for it. They obviously were hungry and opted to go back to their boat.
Peter has a trip, man.
That's good.
That's good.
We didn't even go.
Gilbert guided us through the lush agriculture plantations of sugarcane, yams, sweet potatoes, breadfruit, mangoes, and much more. He led the way along the small irrigation canals fed by small reservoirs dispersed throughout the valley. Me and Gilbert took a quick freshwater bath here to cool off. We continue on across the valley and back into town where we have been invited for a late Sunday lunch.
Tengo el empeño, mejorarme como persona.
I've become a kind of preferred visitor here. Whenever I come, people call me out and ask me in to visit, eat, drink, and dance. Obviously, I can't say no. As well, my friends are automatically everyone's friends. And again, Bruno explains he's South American and not Chinese. He speaks Brazilian Portuguese mixed with Crioulo, so he can get around. And we get along well with Maria here, who is proudly 52. The guys know famous Peruvian soccer players and everything is understood. Bruno is not Chinese. One of the reasons I wanted to come back here was to get some local grog. It's some of the best in the archipelago. Carlos here is helping out. And here is Shuli. At 600 escudos a liter, it's a bargain. I got 5 liters for about $30. And we'll get 2 liters of punch tamarindo later at Jacques' place. Then we paid a visit to another household. There we just had some water and homemade gelatos. We had a few more grogs and decided it was time to go back to Galopin.
Fin de película.
Joe grog, Joe punch.
Joe grog, Joe punch. Nos vai a minha barca.
Tomar banho.
Tomar banho.
Refrescar.
Refrescar. Josie vai no rádio chamar sandy.
¿Qué?
Sándwich.
Ay, me esqueció.
The night before, my friend Paul Lou, the French fisherman, gave us 3 lovely fish. Me and Bruno got to cooking. And Javi swam over to say hi, so we invited him for lunch.
Bruno's making food. Arroz.
We bid goodbye to Javi and prepared to go. We had waited for conditions to calm later in the day. So we lifted anchor and motored around the south point of the island. Bruno is a better sailor than I, but I've sailed back to Mindelo from Tarrafal many times. Soon after rounding the southern point, beating through current, waves increase, coming directly into the bow. A little later, the wind will increase too. Forecasted was 10 knots, but here you can double it, which is what is happening. The strategy here is as follows. You hug the coast to stay sheltered from the waves and close to the wind. At every land point, the waves increase until you can get sheltered again from the coast. But today, as we progressed up the canal, the wind decreased, as did the waves. So we decided to hoist the sails and head north up the coast. Now Bruno is in his element. There wasn't enough wind to just sail, and he understood the sea state.
Solo en la cabeza tengo los billetes, tengo piquete, estoy bien. No tengo de 100, pero tengo los míos, hermano. Aquí estamos todo bien. Me gozo la vida, pa' mí es la ley. Con todas las rolas como Purple Rain. Sin nada de flex o jugando games. Me gozo lo mío, gente, estoy safe. Me gozo la vida, pa' mí es la ley. Con todas las rolas como Purple Rain. Sin nada de flex o jugando games.
We trimmed the sails just perfect and motor sailed upstream until we thought we could tack and head towards Mindelo.
Que te pone coqueta, porque no busco trabajo, al menos vendiendo paleta. Gozo la vida, trabajo, lo tuyo no te comprometas. Me gustan independientes, también que tengan sus metas. Todo el mundo busca dinero, también busca la fama.
We continued with the motor on. It was hard to keep the right heading against the current, but wind was calm and we are happy.
La envidia no enferma, también nos saca la cana. Me gozo la vida, pa' mí es la ley. Con todas las rolas como Purple Rain. Sin nada de flex o jugando games. Me gozo lo mío, gente, estoy insane. Me gozo la vida, pa' mí es la ley. Con todas las rolas como Purple Rain. Sin nada de flex o jugando games. Me gozo lo mío, gente, estoy insane. El dinero no se rico la gente. Gente rica de dinero y no de mente. Todo el mundo mantiene tan pendiente de lo que hagan otros porque no son suficientes. Dímelo, dímelo, es que no sé si porque no lo conozco. Todos son bicis que tiene dañado todito los focos.
And then we got even happier.
Se me parece muy loco. Usa la lógica como un vicio, se la come poco a poco. Como José, que la vibra no rellene. Que no desee todo lo que el éxito tiene. Que no vendía con plata, pero no la de la acera. Tener una esposa que se mueve como Salma, soy Antonio Bandera. Me gozo la vida, pa' mí es la ley. Con todas las rolas como Purple Rain. Sin nada de flex o jugando games. Me gozo lo mío, gente, estoy insane.
Oh, Josie, vale la pena.
Con todas las rolas como Purple Rain. Sin nada de flex o jugando games. Me gozo lo mío, gente, estoy insane. Yo soy el mismo de siempre, chamaco del bar.
We had to tack 2 times before entering Mindelo Bay. We wanted to come in style, with a full sail. And we did, at about 2,200 hours. Borders are open now so we can sail more freely. But then there's always that Sao Vicente canal to get through.